out here. Y'all motherfuckers think y'all fancy and shit. Hold up. I got you. Hold up. Wait a minute. Wait. Just wait for me. Wait for it. No, you just gonna swing your head on me. Y'all ain't saying nothing but a word, you know. I could do it. Hold up. Wait. Wait, hold up. I got this, bruh. Let me do this. Hold on. I throw my hair too. Oh, wait a minute. It's gonna be just undoing y'all. You know what I'm talking about? Got it. Hold up. Hold on. I'm gonna get there. Wait. Just wait. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? I'm gonna do it. Hold up. Y'all ready? Ready? Yeah. Yeah. You got the angles? Alright, hold up.
Well, hello there. Thanks for joining me. Now, keep your eyes up here, because I have something to talk to you about.
Edging, peeking, surfing, rub and hold, riding the edge of the cliff right before you fall off.
Orgasm denial. Orgasm denial. It can...
Hey everyone, this is Kane Marcos, and I'm here to give you a little bit of a lesson on chastity belts. Now, chastity belts have a very dark history.
I wanted to talk to you about denial.
It can be pretty good. It can be something that you take pleasure in.
So, we all know that a chastity belt is this locking piece of clothing that's meant to prevent sexual intercourse.
The longer you hold off, the more intense.
Erotic sexual denial.
And it's also sometimes used as an anti-masturbatory device.
It's the practice of refraining from sexual experiences in order to increase erotic arousal and or tension.
5.4 minutes is the duration in which the male counterpart can last.
And know that when you build it up, it becomes that much more intense.
According to a study done in 2015 by the Journal of Sexual Medicines. So wouldn't you like to last longer? Have a more intense session? Control when you release? Well, there's something for that. It's called edging.
So, delving into a little bit of the history of it, a lot of people think that it came about during the Crusades, where knights would leave off to war and leave their ladies behind, lock them up so that way they're not being unfaithful.
AKA surfing, peeking, rub and hold, riding the edge, also known as the start and stop method.
I like that word, tension. It reminds me of a rubber band. If you tighten it just enough.
Especially when it comes to teasing. Let's see, what does that look like?
Only not a whole lot of chastity belts can be found from that era in time. So where the real chastity belts are coming from that everybody knows about are actually mid to late 18th century.
Orgasm denial, like, it's about knowing your partner and who they are, you know, their limits.
So these Renaissance chastity devices, right? Steel cages with a padded lining. Now, the padding had to get changed out very frequently because you didn't want that metal rubbing up against your skin, and also that padding would get pretty messy down there.
Actually, in 1956, James H. Seaman created the stop and start method. It's over a half a century old, and it was used to treat premature ejaculation.
It may snap, and depending on how you tighten it, you don't know how big the pop's gonna be.
Edging has actually become very popular in health discussions as a way to a better orgasm.
Now, here's a problem with these early chastity devices. Problem number 2 was they could literally kill you.
Like getting right to that limit and then stopping it. It's that buildup of tension that every time they're about to get there, and I'm like, finally, I'm about to just reach the point of no return, and all of a sudden it's like, back to square one. Damn.
So before we get to the how, because I know that's what everybody wants to know, is the how. But you really should know the 4 stages of arousal.
Now we're going to talk about strap-on. That's the real reason why I brought you here. Haha.
Number 1, excitement. You get flush. Your heartbeat starts to race. And blood starts to flow to the nether regions.
Let that sink in for a little bit. A chastity device that kills you.
You know what I mean? So it's then once you get back to square one, it's like you messing with them again just to build them back up again. Just keep playing with them, you know?
So metal would rub up against the skin, give you an abrasion, cause an infection, and then lead to sepsis and then death. So these early chastity devices weren't necessarily ideal for long-term use.
Step 2, plateau. Your excitement gets more intense. You feel yourself getting closer. This is when you should slow down or stop.
Strap-ons. A strap-on dildo may be worn by a male to allow vaginal sex to the female while denying the male partner the ability to orgasm.
But chastity devices have come a long way because nowadays the BDSM community runs the monopoly on chastity devices.
It's like one of my favorites.
Step 3, orgasm. As good as this sounds, this is what you're trying to avoid if you're practicing edging. Well, until you're ready to release.
Where we use them to restrict sexual gratification or even restrict arousal.
It's about taking your time. It's about giving them what they want.
Step 4, resolution. This is where all your vitals return to normal and refractory period happens.
And this is distinct from pegging. A strap-on in this case replaces the penis of the male.
But not giving it to them at all at the same time. So you could go to the point to where you don't even have to give them that big O. Now at the end of the day, you want to give it to them, okay? But not without first teasing them a bit.
What's refractory period? Well, it's a length of time that you can't get aroused again. This could last up to a few minutes, to a few days, or longer. So, when practicing edging, you can do this solo or with a partner. But there's 2 key factors.
So thankfully, chastity devices have come a long way from the days when they used to be able to kill you.
This can be seen as a form of teasing if the strap-on is only used for foreplay.
1 is to listen to your body and to know exactly what you're feeling right before orgasm. And step 2 is to stay between steps 2 and 3, plateau and orgasm.
Or back in the days when people thought that masturbation was a mental health disorder. And even further then, back in the day when women used to wear them to prevent being raped by their male colleagues when they entered the workforce. Because nowadays, chastity devices are used to prevent sexual contact, restrict the wearer from achieving full arousal or sexual gratification.
Really build up the scene and play with your partner. and understand that denial is not always about being turned on. Sometimes when people are in denial, they're not even turned on at that moment. Sometimes it's just about messing with them a little bit.
And in this case, the strap-on can be used to prolong penetrative sex and thus sexually satisfying the female partner.
So a benefit to practicing edging solo is it's a great way to learn about yourself, have a bit more control, or at least know when you're about to climax.
Chastity belts have become a lot more fun because the BDSM community runs a monopoly on chastity belts.
It has to be an understanding between both your dom and or your sub. That's discussed prior to it.
And with a partner, communication is key. You need to be able to tell them when you're about to climax, or at least give them some kind of cue so they know what to do next.
And in this case, the male suffers from premature ejaculation.
They're used in the BDSM community to restrict sexual arousal or restrict sexual gratification. They can be simple leather straps all the way up to Pittsburgh cold-rolled stainless steel.
That, hey, this is what I like to do. That way, it builds the fantasy a little bit more. That doesn't necessarily mean that they're really going to be into it, In order to get them into it, you let them know ahead of time that these are the type of things that you do.
So how? How, Aurora? How? How do you practice edging? Well, it's really quite simple.
The internet's also made chastity devices a lot more popular since now they can be purchased discreetly and used discreetly, if you so choose.
Even when you are talking to them, they begin to incorporate that in your mind psychologically, like, oh, maybe this is what he's doing, or maybe this is what this person's doing. And then that's really when it becomes, or that's really when it creates that buildup.
This form of denial can also be used to increase a submissive's tolerance for physical stimulation.
Also, historically, chastity devices were used mostly for women. But we got our comeuppance, gentlemen. Males dominate the chastity belt community more than any other group.
When you really begin to feel that intense orgasm coming on from a build-up perspective, and then right when you reach that limit, you just slow it down. Keep the orgasm going, just stretch it as long as possible.
So you start your sexual stimulation, and right before you reach that point of climax,
denial doesn't always have to be about saying no or stopping, or sometimes it's about saying yes as well. Knowing when to say yes. Being in control is a power exchange.
you take a break and you stop for at least 30 seconds. It could be less. You'll know if you're listening to your body.
So, they're used to deny sexual pleasure, sexual gratification. They restrict sexual arousal.
And then you start it again. The goal is to not reach step 3, orgasm, climax, until you're ready to do so. You keep holding off and continue to increase the intensity.
Asking, just plain asking, giving direction. All these things, like, it'll help you really think about what it is and how you want to go about doing things, because really it's in your control.
And it can be used as a training tool for holding back an orgasm or to allow the submissive to orgasm on a means of erotic humiliation.
There are specific techniques that you can do to practice this. I'm not going to go into detailed description of each, but if you want more information, the email will be located in the description box below. Always feel free to reach out.
And sometimes they're even still used for their historical purposes of preventing your partner from masturbating or preventing infidelity.
It can be done in multiple ways. For denial, it can be, you don't even have to be in the room. But for orgasm denial, that's something different. I like to be there when I do it.
Desired by either of the submissive or the dominant.
But the true purpose of the chastity belt in our community is a denial technique.
So I'll just give you a brief list. Ballooning is one technique. This helps the male counterpart last longer. The squeeze method. This is also for the male counterpart. And a vibrator for women, if you're adventurous.
And knowing
that is what we're here talking about, ultimately, is denial. And the chastity belts is one of my favorite tools for denial.
So this just shows how important practicing edging can be.
it's in your control.
So there you have it. A brief history lesson on chastity belts.
You can make it as fun as possible. You can make it as fun as you want to. You can make it last for as long as you want it to last.
Yes, it was brief. And their modern day use.
It helps you really learn about yourself, learn about your partner, have more control, have you last longer, understand when and how you reach climax.
I think denial can be really...
How would you like to be denied?
Just don't fall off the edge.
So, now that you've got this information and everything that my cohorts have let you know, it's time to get out there and be kinky and always remember your safe word.
So, did this not make any sense to you? Why not try pressing rewind and listening to one person at a time to get the full story?
Boom. Oh, wait. I gotta shake with it. Wait. Let me do it sexy and shit, like, like, you know what I'm saying? Like Ariel and shit, like coming out the water, like, that's not gonna work. Like, my drink just stayed in the same position.